on it's Wednesday. It's like, do you guys believe how fast these days go by? It's Black Spring with Autumn here on your Wednesday. And guys, I hope you guys are doing well out there, but I'm telling you, if things don't season and cycle, mm-mm. But they do. This whole narrative about the SNAP benefits is not going away. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you, I'll give you the liner. Okay. We have a report out of Rutgers regarding SNAP benefits. Okay. It's Watchman's here. Hi, Watchman. How are you? Thanks so much for tuning in at the 11th hour right now of Black Spring. I really appreciate it. I'm just telling you, this little SNAP benefits narrative is not going to go away anytime soon. And I keep saying things season and cycle, okay? I say that because it's true, okay? You're just on a loop most of the time. So with that said, so apparently, according to Reuters, okay, just want to drop in. I didn't get to get in this morning, but worst case, I'll come in with regular lighting. But I'm just, thank you so much for coming in and loving on the like button at this hour. I really appreciate that very, very much. Thank you for loving on the like button. So what I want to say is that first and foremost is that this is, according to Reuters, this is Trump to halt some food aid support for Democratic-led states over data fight. Okay, so this was actually released. This actually came out on yesterday. So of course, we've been talking about this. It seems like SNAP is we talk about SNAP all of the time. SNAP really never goes away. SNAP. Okay. It's a tricolon, snap, crackle, pop. Okay, you guys, you know what I want. You know where that comes from. Hi, old head dudes. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just dropping in just for a second. Latressa Montgomery, thank you so much for coming in. So, what I'm on about right now is that apparently the Democratic states resist the USDA's demand for SNAP recipient data. Okay. It's funny, I was talking about this the other day, and when people do this whole forefather platitude and all this kind of bit, I kind of connected that to some of the whole immigration rhetoric and some of these, some of the rhetoric on what they're going to do and halting or a sweeping ban on certain countries up to 19. So let me keep going here. So it looks like, I'm going to go ahead and give you this. They're citing privacy concerns. The USDA aims to use data to combat SNAP fraud, okay? That's what the aim is, to combat SNAP fraud. According to this, Washington, D.C., December the 2nd, Reuters, the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump will halt federal payments that help administer the food stamp program to Democrat-led states. You got your dialectic here. Next week, if they do not turn over the 8 recipient data, according to the Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. All right. So the Democratic state and federal officials have resisted an effort by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to collect data like immigration status and social security numbers of recipients of supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits, also known as food stamps, calling it an unlawful privacy violation. The USDA said it will use the data to root out fraud. Okay, we had Doge and, we got all this. We're rooting out fraud. Don't you know? Don't you know? Okay, let me keep going here. Jumpstart your morning with the latest legal news delivered straight to your inbox. Never mind. I guess that was my PSA there. But it says, as of next week, we've begun and will begin to stop moving federal funds into those states until they comply, Rollins said at a Tuesday cabinet meeting at the White House. Hi, Tyrone, 4015. Yeah, I'm kind of in rare form right now. I'm just, but I'll come into the light soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I really do. So, okay, so if a state won't share the data on criminal use of SNAP benefits, it won't get $1 of the federal SNAP administrative funding, end quote, Rollins later posted on X. Okay, it says, while SNAP benefits are funded by the federal government. States administer the program and each maintain their own recipient records. The USDA and states split SNAP administrative costs. Trump's fiscal legislation, known as the, quote, one big beautiful bill, will eventually shift more of the administrative cost and some of the cost of benefits to states. Now, we've been covering that for a while, so that is not news. That piece of it is certainly not news here on Black Spring with Autumn, right? Okay, we'll keep it going on here. Okay, so the Democratic governors of 22 states and the District of Columbia sued the USDA in July over the data demand. A federal judge ruled in October that the USDA could not deny SNAP benefits or SNAP funding to the states because of their failure to submit data. Okay, the USDA spokesperson, sorry about that. The USDA spokesperson said the agency has established a, quote, SNAP integrity team, end quote, to analyze state data. Quote, we have sent Democrat states yet another request for data, and if they fail to comply, they will be provided with normal warning that USDA will pull their administrative funds, the spokesperson said. 28 states have so far submitted the data to the USDA, according to a November letter sent from the agency to states and included in court filings. Okay, so we'll wrap that one up here. Yes, so that comes out of Reuters, okay? There's just one little nugget remaining on that. So it says nearly 42, they keep dropping this number. 42 million Americans receive SNAP benefits. Okay, so that was still the same number, the same data from, during the shutdown, AKA I call it startup or the offline, because everybody wasn't shut down, okay? No, all right? So with that said, this is what I submit. I submit with all the shifty going on, shift here, shift there, eventually, I believe AI is going to take over all of this. That's what I submit. Eventually, AI is going to take over all of this, and they'll say, there's no such thing as all of your struggles, your strifes, your human conditions, your civil rights, all of that is going to be taken over very soon. And they will say that your argument is nothing but a boat with holes in it in the middle of the ocean, because AI is indiscriminate. AI has no gender, AI has no bias, AI has no color, AI has no race, religion, or color or creed. So I'm thinking that's what they're getting ready to move over to. There's a lot of shifty going on here. Shifty. And I'm feeling a little shifty around here at this time of the day. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like button. But there's a lot of shifting going on, and some of them want to say, oh, it's an interagency moving around. But what are you going to call it when you eventually move it over to AI? Will it be called interagency then? Do we already have a Bill of Rights for AI already? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I really appreciate it. So thank you, Watchman, for coming in. And I have Old Head Juice, I have Latressa Montgomery 7932, and Tyrone 4015. So thank you guys for loving on that like button. So I'm just thinking this is just kind of rolling. It's going to be a constant narrative until they eventually get everybody to shift on over to until they get everybody moved over to AI, into a digital system. And see, the digital system, once they get everybody plugged and tapped into that digital system, you're not going to be able to say what you will and will not do. You will not be able to say, well, I'm afraid for this, or I'm afraid I'll be discriminated against, or I'm afraid for my safety, because they're going to tell you that the AI is all for your own good, all for your safety. They're going to tell you everything's fine. What are you talking about? We took care of that. AI is an indiscriminate entity. And they will cite that you have rights, that your rights are taken care of by their AI gods. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm just saying these things are not going away. And like I said, And we're still right on tap for January. Don't forget the QRFs, the quick response training, the quick response forces that are being trained by January 1st of 2026. So it's looking like there's something on they're expecting some escalation. I think we can anticipate some form of escalation with all of these recurring issues that keep coming up. Hang on one second, guys. I'm going to let me see. I'm trying to figure out, did they get rid of my okay, hang on one second. Two shakes. Just two shakes, my friends. So you guys can see me. All right, so let me get here. All right, so let's go here real quick. Okay, so now I'm in the light, okay? Yeah, so I just wanted to come in with that just for a second, but just know that this whole situation is not over, okay? It's just the beginning. Derek C. Williams, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. But yeah, they got everybody to calm down just long enough to pull that rug out from underneath you again. Some people, I'm not, we could go on for days and days, but we know that some people have been whether you're a generational person or codependency, whatever your situation is, they're not going to leave that alone. As a matter of fact, they might be the very first people that they require digital ID. And who is Derek C. Williams says, folding clothes and listening to me live on YouTube. I appreciate that so much, Derek C. Williams. You can be anywhere in the world and listening to anything, but you decided to listen to my Reuters summation. So they're going to be reviewing your data. If you don't give up your data, and see, to me, that's like, once they started at the state level, then it'll come down to the common man. Well, you're either gonna give us what we asked for, or you're gonna get shut down. Okay, that's what I'm on about. So this is Brooke Rollins and whatnot. Derek C. Williams says, I could indeed, but you're worthy of it. I appreciate that, Derek C. Williams. It's been a long day. It really has. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest. A lot of times it's much more difficult to me, I think, to come back from a holiday kind of a break than it is to just let me do my regular. Yeah, just let me do. So I need a vacation from a vacation. That's kind of what I'm on about right now. So, but as always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So we'll keep an eye on that. I don't know. Dare I say, because most people, dare I say, they didn't learn their lesson. They just go right back out here and start doing the same things. They get comfortable and they just go back out here and start doing the same thing that they were doing in the first place. Which is, I hate to say it, they're not taking care of their business. If they pull the plug on you, you're right back where you were. So we'll see. Halt some food aid support for Democrat-led states. But what did they say? Even the enemy knew that the way to manipulate man, it could be through his gut, right? I think that was right on. I think that's a dare I say, it's a biblical artifact. Let me read this here. Derek said, perhaps a spa day in your area. Derek is going for the men's package at the Philadelphia area spa in about a week. Look at you. It's long days and researching can drain a content creator. You got that right. I'm just trying to, just recovering from the weekend is still a big deal. Still a big deal. I really appreciate you guys for coming in. And I meant to get in this morning, but the time got away, and I didn't get to come in. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on this piece. Like I said, I do believe something is coming Do I want to say it's civil unrest? I'll just say, we'll say with escalation. I think there will be some escalation before the end of the year, and they're already anticipating it. I know that they are. They're pretty much telling you that they are. So I appreciate you guys for coming in here and burning a whopping 15 minutes and 25 seconds on this particular stream. I guess I don't have anything else. But no, that's a seasoning and cycle. So this becomes more like an echo chamber, because we visited this piece. We keep talking about, it's like a cultural motif that we're always going to talk about food and SNAP benefits, and we're always gonna have SNAP benefits in our cycle. Okay, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on about. So I appreciate you guys as always, and let me go through and say, have a great evening to everybody, and I'll probably be back tomorrow. The time, I'm not sure. It's going to be another long one, but definitely by the weekend. Definitely by the weekend, we should be able to pull it together, and we'll see what shakes loose by then. Let's scroll up to the top here. Thank you guys for loving on the like button, per usual. So at one point it says that we had 7 people watching, but then we only had about five likes. So you know how that goes. Thank you so much, Watchman, Flying Guillotine, aka Old Head Deuce, Latressa Montgomery 7932, Tyrone 4015, and of course the prolific, the one, the only Derek C. Williams. And we've got a Brit Worship Channel 4107. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I'm doing an 8-hour live tonight. Brit Worship Channel 4107. Oh my gosh, Brit Worship Channel. Are you by chance the Brit from? Are you with the COVID-19, the class of 2019, or that sounds a little bit, that rings a little bit familiar. Just a hair, something about that. Are you the same Brit from that time? Yeah, some people, we haven't heard from them since that era. So just checking. Just checking. But I tell you what, hang on one second, guys. Hang on. One more shake. It's actually kind of chilly around here. I don't know what it's like in your guys' neck of the woods, but it's certainly a little bit brisk today. Extra brisky. More than usual is what I will say, without a doubt. Hang on one second here. But the weather is kind of, to me, it's like hour to hour. You don't know what season you're in from hour to hour. We're gonna say that. And that's, and we've read that before in the book. Hang on 1 second here. I'm saying it's more like 60 seconds plus. Okay. So I'm coming back to the screen. I just needed to put a little bit of extra care. I just need a little extra care scene here. But yeah. So I may come back. I'll probably come back tomorrow sometime. But for now, I'm definitely trying to stay warm around here. Derek C. Williams says, I think the longest live ever was done in California a few years back. 6 days. 6 days, did you say? Wow, Derek C. Williams. I love it. Those memories are very comforting. At the time, I thought that they brought a lot of relief in those times, and there was a lot of comfort in having, a class of, what do I call it, 2020, or a COVID-19 class, because we watched a lot of things unfold. You do your 6 feet and 6 whatever, and you go out and shop. For me, I'd go out shop with the seniors, um, because it was easier at that time. Uh, Derek Swim's over 115 million YouTube channels. Are you kidding me? Derek C. Williams. Oh, wow. But I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Like, it's been a long day. I've had like 500, like, I probably did about 500. I mean, seemed like 30 walkthroughs today. 30 walkthroughs. So, yeah, got it. I mean, it gets a little germy out here after a while. Derek C. Williams says around 65 million of those are active. Yeah, where'd you get that number? I mean, I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea that there were that many channels. Who in the world is this person? Is it Hippocrates 4 by base? He's colloidal silver is good for germy days. Let me make a note to self on that. I think I have some colloidal silver. Is it the gel? I have some, I think, in the gel form. And I've used that to make hand sanitizer before. Maybe I'll just get some extra. I need to order some stuff anyway. So I've got some colloidal silver. It's probably in a little jar about like that. Um, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Love on that like button. Okay. Colloidal silver. Um, yeah, because I don't like that Purell and all that stuff. It's just very drying effect on the skin and whatnot. So we'll see what we can do about that. So let's see. Derek C. Williams. I think somebody gave me a I have a recipe for let's see. A simple web search points out the number of channels, but I channeled folks on the longest live when I was live one day in 20. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, so I have a whole recipe, I think, in which I have like aloe vera gel, and then I had colloidal silver and I think um peroxide for yeah, that was one recipe that I had. I guess you could put I don't know what else you could alternatives you could do. I guess I need to get it together. So I appreciate you guys so much for coming on, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow. No, not internally. No. Negative. No, I would never put internal. No. No. All right, guys. So thank you so much, Derek C. Williams, the prolific Derek C. Williams, Hippocrates 4 by base. I have no idea what the reference. Okay. So what was it? Latressa Montgomery 7932. We had, who else was in here? We had Brett Worship Channel 4106. We had him. We had Old Head Deuce in the house. Thank you guys for loving all the like button. Tyrone T 4015. And Watchman. Watchman, are you on 405? You wrapping it on up? You wrapping your day up? I appreciate you for taking it on in with Black Spring, in the background. All right, guys. Appreciate all of your attention, and we will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a great evening. Yikes. And hang on a second. Is there a oral and topical silver options? Derek has both. Wow. Oh, can you share that with me, Derek C. Williams? Anything you have, or if you have any, homeopathics or homeopathic not solutions or yeah, I guess solutions with silver. Solutions with silver solutions. All right, guys. Okay, thank you so much, Derek C. Williams. Okay.